Hey, what's up? My name is Bryce, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make awesome looking and sounding Instagram reels of you playing worship at your church. So let's just get right into it. What do you need to start doing this? So the basics, we're going to break this video into two sections, the basics and then the more advanced tips to kind of make your videos go an extra mile in the production quality. So all you need to start is 4 things. You're going to need a camera, it could even be your iPhone. You're gonna need something to hold that camera, so a tripod, it could be a little clamp, something like that. You're gonna need an audio interface, and what that allows us to do is to get the audio from your ears out of the mixer and into the video, so when you hit record, that audio that you're hearing in your ears gets baked into the video. And then the last thing you're gonna need is just cables to connect everything. So what is my setup? While it's not the most beginner friendly, I do think it's a really solid setup for doing this. So the camera I use is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's a really great camera, it's really easy to use. The settings are great, the quality of the video is amazing. Enough said, look into it if you want it. I use this little SmallRig grip with a KF Concept cage off Amazon. I will link all of these products in the description of the video in case you want to buy my exact setup. And what I'll do with this clamp is I'll clamp it onto the mic stand of the drummer so that he's not hitting it like he would a cymbal stand, and I'm gonna get like a stable video the entire time if it's clamped on there. And typically it's far away enough from me that it gets a good angle of me playing. The audio interface I use is the iRig Stream. It's really good, it's simple. And then the cables that you need to make that work with the rest of my setup, it'll come with a USB-C cable that plugs right into the DJI Osmo. And then you'll need a headphone to RCA cable. You can find those on Amazon for pretty cheap, and they're like really long. So it should give you some versatility for whatever angle you're trying to get. With all that to say, I'm gonna actually throw to a video now of my setup, and then I'll kind of explain how it works. All right, I got a quick video here explaining my setup. So I have an AV-arm right here, and out of that is a headphone cable. So we'll pretend that's plugged in, or I guess I just did plug it in. Cable runs all the way to this iRig right here, and that's a headphone to RCA cable. So that goes in there. Got some fancy things to keep this thing just on the pole. And then I have a cable right here, USB-C, that goes into my camera. And then turn that on, and boom, we now have a camera angle that is taking my in-ear feed into it. Quick tips is make sure that your iRig or whatever you're using is either at low or okay. You never want it to be high because that means it's clipping and the audio will be unusable. And a good way to prevent that if you're on the AV-arm is just using this master and kind of dialing in everything there. So I have it right here. Really depends what your church's gain stages are. But yeah, that's how you get the basic setup. So that's basically it. All you need to do, interface, camera, tripod, cables, plug it in, set it all up, hit record, in-ear mix goes into the video as you're recording, and then you can put that on your iPhone, use the app, cut it, get the section, post it, boom. But if you want some of that extra production quality, here's what you need for the rest of my tutorial. First thing you'll need is a laptop. Second thing you'll need, hopefully it's a Mac laptop because you're gonna want Logic Pro. So second thing you need is a digital audio workstation. All that is a software that allows us to edit the audio that we have. And the reason I specifically say Logic Pro is because they have a new feature in there called a stem splitter. And what that will do is it'll take your in-ear mix and it'll split it into different channels. So bass, drums, vocals, guitars, piano, and you're able to adjust the levels of those things individually. And it's not the best on its own, but when they're all together, it sounds great. So we have our laptop, our DAW, hopefully it's Logic Pro, and then last thing is some sort of video editing program. It could be CapCut, it could be really any video editor. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, and that's what I'm gonna be showing you the tutorial in today. But honestly, the video part, as long as your audio sounds good, your video is gonna be fine as long as the lighting is okay. Last bonus tip is going to be if your audio engineer records the weekend service, whether it's through a broadcast mix or straight out of the board, If he records that or she, have them send it to you, because that is way better than your in-ear mix. Nobody really wants to hear click and guide the whole time. So the only way to get rid of that, as far as I'm aware, is to just have your audio engineer record it out of the board, send that to you. So yeah, we're gonna start with the audio process. How do you level up your audio, mix it for social media, that sort of thing. So here we are in Logic, and first thing we're gonna do is you're gonna open a new project, and time, tempo, all that stuff doesn't really matter right now. All you're gonna do is take your video, drag it in. It's gonna open this window right here. Make sure that open the movie is unchecked. You don't need to see the video really while you're editing it. And then hit extract the audio track. Now I already did that, and I will just show you. So here's the video I recorded. I just dragged it in. You can hear my in-ear mix pretty low there, but I'm gonna show you how to fix that. So first thing is gonna be double tap it, and then go down here to this window, functions, normalize region gain. I do -1. You could do lower, you could do higher. Just make sure it's not clipping. And that is when the audio gets maxed out and it sounds really like distorted and crunchy. We don't want that happening. So now that I did that, it's a lot louder, right? And I'm actually gonna do that again. I already dragged my in-ear mix here. So I'm gonna get rid of this channel, but imagine I didn't. Imagine I'm same step as you. And you know what, I'm gonna use the board mix. So here's my in-ear mix, and here's my board mix. I'm gonna use that. It sounds way better, but it's the same process really, whether you have a board mix or an in-ear mix. So I'm gonna delete that. And I have this beautiful audio. Thank you, Yvonne, for mixing this and sending it to me. You crushed this mix. So I'm normalizing it. I'm making sure it's not clipping. And I have my song right here, Thank God I'm Free. So if you don't have Logic, the things you can do is you can just EQ your stuff right here. So if I'm a bass player, I'm probably gonna add a little bit in the low end right here. There we go. And you could even do a dip up here. Maybe, that doesn't sound super great. I'm really new to mixing audio, so yeah, prepare for a lot of amateur tips. Now, if you have Logic Pro, this is where things are gonna get awesome. So instead of going straight to the EQ, what we're gonna do is hit Control, and then click Stem Splitter. So this says preset, separate all stems, vocals, drums, bass, guitar, piano, other. That's all great. Hit apply. If you don't want one of those, that's fine too. And it's gonna take 15-20 seconds. It doesn't take too long. So let's give it a second. Okay, sweet. It split it and it muted our other channel, which we can actually just delete that because we have the stem split mix right here. So if I play this, oh, it's on mute. If I play this, there we go, and solo vocals. Listen to those harmonies. Let's go. Okay, so I'm a bass player. I'm gonna show you bass tips. Whatever your thing is, just make sure it's the loudest in the mix. So what we're gonna do is we are going to lower the vocals. I like to lower them about -5 to -8. And the reason that I lower the vocals is because I don't want them being so dominant in the mix that you can't hear, my instrument. But I have noticed people taking vocals completely out of the worship mix. Personally, if I put myself in the shoes of a worship leader who is inviting a musician to come on stage and lead the church with me, I would be pretty offended if they are recording content and not including my vocals in the mix. So do with that what you will. I like to include everyone in the mix unless someone's playing like awful. Most of the time if someone's playing awful, I don't post the clip. I don't want to embarrass anybody. Not that that happens often. So let's get our vocals down. That's a good level. And then I'm actually gonna go into my bass channel here, double click it, functions, normalize. I'm gonna normalize that. So that's a lot louder. So you can even bring it down a little bit. We're just trying to make sure that we can hear everything we want to hear. So yeah, we got our bass level up. Look at that. And next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start EQing stuff. So I like the drums to cut through the mix a little bit. So I'm gonna click the drum channel, gonna go to EQ, and I have liked using this going into drums and the room microphones preset, but I like to lower it by about 50% plus 6 dB. And that's gonna give the drums a little more high end. It'll help cut through phone speakers a lot better. Sounds really good. And then another thing I like to do, there's a free preset called Wider, and it's gonna allow you to extend the stereo mix of everything just wider than Logic's default. So I go to Wider, Stereo, and I'll typically set this around like 50 to 70%. It really depends where. It's probably hard to hear the difference, but there's a huge difference in your ears or your monitors if you're listening. And okay, so we got EQ, wider on drums, and then guitar, I typically like to also add wider on. I'm gonna make that a little bit tighter, like 20 to 40%. And I might actually turn this up a little bit, because they sound really good. And we got our piano here too. Okay, cool. Next thing, bass guitar. Sounds really good. You can add or subtract some stuff in here. I'm trying to make this EQ wider. I typically like to go in here because that's where the range of like picking the string is. So it helps it cut through a little bit more. And honestly, this is probably good enough to go. But I'm gonna keep mixing just because I wanna add some bonus tips. I feel like this sounds pretty good. So last thing you're gonna do is click up here, YA Board Night Mix, and then hit bounce right here. And I like to do MP3 because it's a really easy format to use. And I'm gonna hit OK. And I'm gonna say, hey, where to save it? I'll call this YouTube video mix. So once I reach this point, typically what I do is it's a little bit of a back and forth. I'll bounce the file, which means exporting it out of Logic, and I'll airdrop it to my phone and I'll listen to it. Because you want to make sure it sounds good on your phone, not just your AirPods or speakers, but most people when they're watching Instagram Reels, they're walking around their house and they're scrolling and they probably don't have headphones in. So I like to make sure that my audio sounds best for the phone. All right, now I'm gonna show you the video side. So you have your audio, you bounced it, you made sure the levels are good, it sounds good on your iPhone. You're gonna drag that into your video editing software and you're gonna drag it in your project. Here I am in Premiere Pro. All right, so you have your audio, you made sure the levels are good. Now let's show you the... All right, so you have your audio, you made sure the levels are good. Now let me show you the video side. So here we are in Premiere Pro, and all I have is a project sequence open up, and it's in 4K, and it's vertical, so it's 2160 by 3840. And here is my, here's my video. And because I recorded horizontal because I was collaborating with people, that ended up looking like this. I would record vertically if you are just posting content by yourself. So I'm just gonna crop this in. We'll make the scale go up. And we'll say that's okay, even though it's not. You know, I'm going in and out of frame. If I wanted to really re-edit this reel, what I would do is I would, you know, keyframe as I'm going and make sure that I'm in frame the whole time. But I'm not going to do that just because this is a tutorial. So here's my footage, and the first step is going to be to go to Lumetri Color. It's going to be on the bottom here. Add that to the source. And if you filmed log footage, which is super flat, you're going to make sure to use whatever conversion LUT you have. If none of this makes sense, or if you're using this iPhone, you can skip this step. All this is going to do is convert this to a color space that we can actually use, Rec. 709. So that added a lot of color back to the image. And it's already looking pretty good. So we did that under the basic conversion. And then what I like to do is I'll add a little bit more contrast by making the blacks a little bit darker. I might bring down the highlights or the whites a little bit, just because it's a lot in this. And then I'll add a LUT if you don't have any LUTs. If this doesn't make sense, I can do a full video production tutorial on this stuff at some point. I'm just trying to fly through the basic steps here. So I'm going to add a LUT. That looks crazy. So we're going to dial back the intensity. And that's looking more artistic and cool. And I got my video scaled up here. And I'm not going to take the time to like really put some love into this because I already edited this reel. So once our video is looking okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go back. We're going to import our audio in here. All you got to do is drag and drop it, nothing crazy. And here's my mix. And I'm going to drag it in. Boom. It's in here. And if I play this, it's out of sync. Yikes. How do we fix that? You're going to highlight everything. Right click. Hello. There we go. Hit synchronize. And that just lined it up. So if I play it, heck yeah. And I'm actually going to solo this track right here because this is my mix and I don't want to double up on my audio. Look at me jumping around like an idiot. And that's how you get the audio in there. That's how you sync up the video. You add color and then you're going to export it. So all you do is, I created a custom one where it's a 4K thing, but really all you got to do is do, here it is, match source, boom. And you'll export that video. All right, after you export your video, all you got to do is airdrop it to your phone or send it to yourself somehow. And you're going to select it here in Instagram. So I got it right here. Sorry for the audio. And I'm just gonna hit next. I'm not gonna do much. Add your caption, do whatever, edit the cover, make it look cool. It's gotta load right now. Tag your people, tag all your musicians, give everyone the credit, don't take it all for yourself. Here's one of the most important tips I have for posting on Instagram. Once you're here on this page, you're gonna go down to more options and make sure right here, upload at highest quality is on. If you don't do that, Instagram is automatically going to downgrade your video to like whatever the fastest upload speed is wherever you're at whenever you're uploading it. So you want to make sure, even though it'll take longer, it'll upload at the highest quality because we're not recording and editing 4K footage for it to look like crap. So upload at highest quality, add your stuff, change your reel cover right here. Let's say that's great. And you know, caption it, the song name, thank God I'm free, and you're good. That's it. That's how you post it. That's how I do my process. I know that this was a super quick video, so if you have any specific questions that I didn't answer, please leave them in the comments. I am more than willing to share any step of my process. I love sharing my passion with people. I love both music and also getting to use my video editing skills like to share what I love doing. And the last thing I have to say is if you made it this far, you're definitely interested in recording worship content. And while that's really cool, I do have to say, I think we have to be careful. We have to be humble. I won't pretend to know your motives. I only know mine. But what I do know is if I went back to when I was 16 years old, first playing on the worship team, if someone handed me a camera, that pride would get to my head really quick. Philippians 2:3 says, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves." I think it's really important to have a good heart posture when we're posting worship content and to not let it get to our head, because if the point of this is likes or comments or views, it becomes not about Jesus. And that's the whole point of why we worship, right? It's to worship Jesus, it's to glorify him. It's not to look cool, it's not to have the best guitar tone, whatever it might be. So yeah, all to say, I hope you enjoyed this. Leave any questions in the comment section if you're confused. I will answer and go into more depth as much as you need me to. If you want a more detailed video on whether it's the video side, the audio side, how I edit all this stuff together, let me know and I will make that. So yeah, thank you, subscribe for more. I'm gonna be posting a lot more content on this channel, really trying to make it with YouTube. So thank you for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.